Hi Kiwi, this is day 4 of recording. Clearly, since I'm in the middle of a run, I forgot to press record. Except I didn't. I just confirmed it. I have 14 seconds of my first playthrough, of the start of this playthrough. I'm not sure what happened, but of course things decided to not record, so ho-hum, I'm about 20 minutes into the run, so of course that's lost, but oh well, we'll salvage. Anyway, you sure did give me a scare yesterday when you decided to wake up before I was finished recording. Thankfully, you timed it right at the end of the run, so I was able to play it off cool. I don't think you quite know what I'm doing just yet, thankfully, but I'm honestly a bit impressed that I made it 3 days in before you even happened to have the chance of finding out, so certainly this is the part where the run kind of gets gets unhinged because I have been slightly tilted, but we're running another challenge run, the tank run, which you can tell because I'm Maggie with Yum Heart, a whole bunch of other hearts, Lard, what is it? I forgot the other one that isn't Lard, and Infamy is what you start with, and I found Potato Peeler, as you can see, and of course, having found Potato Peeler on a tank run, I immediately untanked myself, and it was great. You know, it would have been really unfortunate if that had any spiders in it, because I would not have been able to escape. But anyway, so I've been rambling about anime, and now I get to ramble about anime more, because, well, let's just say I had my first take. Here we go. So, where we left off yesterday, we were talking about anime, and I'd like to talk a little bit more about that. So, where we left off, I had started briefly mentioning Odd Taxi and Ranking of Kings, and I rambled a little bit about how much I love Ranking of Kings because of how the characters bounce off each other, how there's a prevailing sense of kindness above all else to others, even if it goes necessarily against your self-interest in some cases. But, and for obvious reason, I think that's kind of a pretty palpable theme in my life, for better and for worse on that front, for sure. Let's see, any guppy? No. This run refuses to give me anything guppy related, except for 9 Lives, which was hilarious. I'm sorry you didn't get to see that. 9 Lives was a genuinely hilarious joke pulled by the game, so I respect that. I respect that. This game has such a biting sense of humor. Mad. I'm just a little bit salty about that. I didn't take it for obvious reasons. Anyway, so let's talk about. I'm going to talk a little bit more about ranking about Odd Taxi, because I talked at least a little bit about Ranking of Kings. So let's talk about Odd Taxi. Odd Taxi is it's another fun one. It's very, I wouldn't say it's very different. It's quintessentially anime. There's no getting around that fact, and not that I wanted to get around that fact either. But I mean, all the main characters are some type of animal, so you know how it'd be. Appealing to the furry community, but not really. It's very interesting because it kind of has a murder mystery vibe about it the whole time through, and the way the characters flow off each other. I think people described it as Tarantino type directing, which you know I am not terribly cultured when it comes to movies and things of that nature, so take that comment with a grain of salt, and I'm sure you don't really know what it means either, because you, like I, do not watch a lot of movies. But there's a constant flowing dialogue between the characters going back and forth, and they feed off of each other very well. It feels like very natural dialogue. It's not the typical anime over the top kind of reactions and stuff. I mean, that's in there, I believe, but obviously it's not it's not how the show is written in its entirety. In other words, I'm just gonna let Meat Boy take care of this, and I'm gonna sit back and watch. Okay, get tears up after losing a bunch from the tears down pill I pulled, unfortunately. All right, so I need to remember on this floor I'm going to activate the Hermit, because I forgot. I've had this Hermit card since the first floor, and I've forgotten to use it every floor. But since I'm saying it out loud, I remembered. Look at me, I'm growing. Alright, I think the play here is to grab the present and bring it to a cursed room. But let's see what this card is. The stars? Ooh. Okay. This gives some pills, right? Tears down. Bombs are key. Verp. Man, nothing but negative pills on this run. Except for the full health pill you start with, which I haven't seen another of since I started the run. Alright, well I have backpack, so I may as well just bring Heart with me then. Alright, so I'm way over here now. Maybe it'll lead to the boss room and I can just end the run. Wouldn't that be great? 5-minute recording. Hooray. We'll have to do another run. Oh, there goes my coin heart. Gold heart or whatever. So, Odd Taxi. I mean, the characters are fun, the writing is great. The plot twist at the end I was actually able to predict, which was really cool. But I think one of the things Odd Taxi does is very similar in vein to what other shows I've talked to you about in the past, like Durarara and Bakano do, where you have so many characters that both interact with each other, but also have kind of their own things going on. They feel like actual characters. They have their own interests, their own ongoing personal dilemmas, and it feels like it's a living, breathing world where these characters are continuing to do what they want, and sometimes their decisions have kind of a domino effect that leads to other things happening later on in the series. But at the end, all of those characters do they do the thing that I love most in anime and other media. They all come together at the end in some way or another and have an effect on the outcome of the final episode. And you know how much that is one of my favorite things, when the characters that have influenced the outcome of the show all come together and accomplish something. Right. My brain is not capable of handling those when I'm this slow. Metaphorically and literally. Although, I started off with, I think, 0.5 speed, and I'm up to 0.85. I think there was a point where I was 0.35 because I had picked up a, an item that slows me down. Or was it experimental pill I got? Yeah, I got experimental pill and it lowered my speed. But, yeah, so... lost my train of thought from all that damage. Ooh, red key. Right. Remember the plan, Jeff. Use this. Haha, that's cute. You think I'd sacrifice Meat Boy on the final floor? You're a fool. A foolish fool. Alright. Ooh. Oh, well. I forgot how red key works almost in its entirety. But, oh well. I think we're just gonna head to the boss room, since there's only one path to take now. But Odd Taxi, definitely one I look forward to watching with you at some point when we're in the mood for something that's kind of a... You have to think a little bit more with it. It doesn't hide information, it just does not point it out. And I feel like watching it a second time, I will, having more knowledge about what the characters are, what they do, and such, will make it way more fun to watch for me if I rewatch it again with you. It's the joy of just being that person who is sitting behind someone watching something and just smiling to themselves and being like, ooh, that means more than you think it does. But yeah, that's definitely a show that I look forward to sharing with you, and kind of in a similar vein, not necessarily immediately, but definitely one that I think I'll enjoy watching with you, or several that I'll enjoy watching with you, all from, I believe, the same writer. Durarara, Bakano, and Deadmount Deathplay are all, I believe, I know for a fact that Bakano and Durarara are written by the same person, and based on how Deadmount Deathplay is written and how the characters interact, I definitely feel, I'm reasonably confident it's made by the same person. But it is they have a similar, they're definitely more anime, there's no questioning that. They're more anime than Odd Taxi, but the dynamic between the characters is very similar, I feel. They all interact with each other in a really fun way. All the characters in those shows are fun in some capacity. There are definitely going to be villain-type characters that you will quite enjoy. There are definitely not what's called lovingly antagonistic, where the characters antagonize each other, but they do it because they know it's fun or because they enjoy each other's company, sort of thing. And then there are characters who are just definitely more directly antagonistic to each other, of course. But the writing in these shows is very fun. There's always a prevailing sense of you don't quite know what's going on necessarily. There's always an underlying mystery, and as the show unfurls, you get more and more of that information. So they're a fun set of shows. All right, let's see what our angel deal is before we call it. I don't actually recognize this item. Divine Intervention, double tap shield. So I think what happens now is if you touch these guys, you just activate them. You don't need to bomb them anymore, I guess. That, or I have something going on that makes that happen, but either way. Don't know why I care so much, like I have to focus so hard on that. It's not like this run is over, so I don't know why I'm searching for soul hearts either. Ooh, what happens if I use red key here? Can I? No, I can't. Oh well. That's kind of funny that the final item of the run is an HP up. This game's biting sense of humor never ceases to impress. My goodness. Well, I guess what I'll do is I'll end this video here, even if it's a short one. We at least got to talk about Odd Taxi a little bit, and I'll record one more. But thanks for watching. I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, Kiwi. See you in the next one.